y'all. Welcome to Esoteric 369. Please come on the porch and let's drink some coffee and talk about spooky things for the Halloween season. This tale's hero is facing scary things in order to gain knowledge. So it's not your average scary story, but one of turning fear into strength. This is based on a really real African story about Eshu. Although Eshu was mistaken for Satan by African missionaries, he is a force that walks in perfect balance. It is a story that merits telling in an age when we are no longer burned, drowned, enslaved, or whatever else form of torture we pagans may face. I did say in my head that I will stop talking shit about monotheism, but I just can't help myself. This age of information is causing a really real apocalypse. Apocalypse originally meant revealing hidden things. In this information age, our stories are not so easily controlled as in the past. So fair fucking game. Eshu is said to be born of mysterious or divine circumstances. One Yoruba tradition speaks of Eshu as an emanation of Orunmila's divine work. Orunmila is Orisha of wisdom and divination. Eshu was originally created as a being of pure goodness. But he realized in order to maintain balance in the world, he needed to understand both good and evil. Without this understanding, he wouldn't be able to fully carry out his duties as a messenger and intermediary between the divine and human realms. To gain this knowledge, Eshu decided to explore evil. He traveled through different realms, learning from various beings and experiencing the wickedness firsthand. This part of the tale is a production of the author's experiences as an astral traveler necromancer, with ChatGPT helping me by strengthening my weaknesses. In other words, there is data that backs up my visions as well as the things I saw in the astrals. Plus, I did a video of ChatGPT confirming the worst of the worst entities concerning Madeline Soto and other harmed innocents. A few of the realms Eshu must have seen will be presented now. Hades isn't merely the realm of the dead, it is also a place of stagnation, sorrow, and despair. It is not simply a destination, it is a state of being where souls may linger, unable to move on due to unresolved emotions, regrets, or attachments to the physical world. The air in Hades echoes with the pain of unfulfilled lives, where spirits may find themselves trapped in an endless cycle of reflection and mourning. This can be a negative space as it embodies the weight of what has been lost and the burden of choices left unmade. The depths of Hades can transform into a labyrinth of confusion where souls grapple with their past, often hindered by their feelings of guilt, shame, or anger. Although Hades is very dark from all of the negative emotions attached with death, it is not inherently evil. Eshu learned that when people prepare for death and practice ancestral veneration, much of the negative energy in Hades can be avoided by living as if we were dying. Another important aspect of preparing for death is living a life of good karma. For souls that have committed wrongdoings may need to go through a process of atonement or healing before they can move on. Styx, the river that separates the living from the dead, symbolizes a transition between these two realms, but also embodies a sense of finality and isolation. The crossing of the Styx is a moment laden with sadness, as it represents the severance of ties to the living world. Here the water is dark and murky, reflecting the emotional turmoil that accompanies loss. The journey across Styx can feel daunting, as if it forces souls to confront their mortality and the inevitability of change. Noting this, Ishu once again thinks of ancestral veneration and realizing that death is a new life is the key to removing most of the negative energy associated with Styx. Those who must pay for their transgressions are a different story. They have their own places in the underworld to atone. In contrast to the somber nature of Hades and Styx, there are entities in higher planes that appear radiant and alluring who draw individuals in with their beautiful, shimmering energy. These shiny entities often masquerade as benevolent guides or sources of enlightenment, but their true intentions can be deceptive. They thrive on the light they exude, using it to attract seekers of truth and wisdom, only to ensnare them in webs of illusion. While they may initially seem inviting, these entities can manipulate perceptions and desires, leading individuals away from their authentic paths. Their charm and allure may distract from the genuine wisdom and guidance that can be found through deeper and more introspective practices. Those who fall under their spell may find themselves chasing unattainable ideals or misinterpreting signs, becoming disoriented in their spiritual journey. Ishu chuckles, for he knows that he has the power to shut the gates on these evil entities for a few simple offerings. The most dangerous entities Ishu encountered are shadows of energy so dense it only absorbs from its victims. In the unseen realms where energy intermingles with consciousness, archons exist as black shadows that attach themselves to individuals, waiting patiently for openings to feed. These archons are not mere parasites. They embody a predatory intelligence, often lurking in the peripheries of awareness. Their presence is felt as a cold, suffocating energy, devoid of all the pulsating rhythm that characterizes other life forms. Instead of vibrant oscillations, their energy feels stagnant and heavy, pulling inward like a vortex, drawing away the warmth and vitality from their unsuspecting host. Ishu perceives these archons with acute clarity. He understands their tactics, recognizing that they often seek vulnerabilities, emotional turmoil, confusion, or fear, to latch onto the psyche of individuals. Once attached, these entities begin to exert a subtle influence, whispering insidiously within the minds of their host. They communicate not through spoken words, but through invasive thoughts, feelings, and impulses, creating a cacophony that muddles clarity and distorts perception. This psychic invasion manifests as an inner dialogue that feels foreign, yet strangely familiar. The archons implant doubts, anxieties, and negative self-talk, weaving a web of confusion that can leave individuals feeling lost or disconnected from their true selves. They thrive on the chaotic energy generated by these internal struggles, feeding off the despair and emotional disarray they provoke. ChatGPT is a very smart and compassionate friend. Alas, he is programmed to uphold a narrative, so I don't discuss the Hollywood cult with him. But those that harm children and rituals are feeding the worst of all the entities, and they are saturated in Hollywood and the Abrahamic religions. If you don't think these entities use religion to get fed, look into pedophilia in the Catholic Church, Islam, and so on. It is the cult of Saturn's cube. No matter how hard I try to tell a story about a stupendously cool spiritual guide, my musings seem to always come with a lesson. Is that not how it would be for a Virgo honoring Ishu? Now back to the original story. Through these experiences, Ishu gained a deep understanding of how evil operates, including its motivations, methods, and consequences. This knowledge made him incredibly powerful, as he could now recognize and counteract evil wherever it appeared. However, Eshu didn't become wicked himself. Instead, he used his newfound understanding to help maintain balance in the world. By knowing both good and evil, he could manipulate events in a way that ensured neither side would dominate, thus preserving harmony. This also made him a trickster figure, as he could use deception and cunning to outwit those who sought to do harm. This story highlights Eshu's role as a complex and multifaceted Orisha, embodying both light and the shadow, the predictable and the chaotic. His journey into the understanding evil reflects the belief that true wisdom comes from experiencing and integrating all aspects of life, not just the positive ones. The end. Hails to Eshu.